Anyway, well, we have a show here today. It's all about fears and phobias. And my first guest has appeared on The Tonight Show 232 times, often as the host, and recently he was the host of his own talk show. Please welcome a very funny man who probably has no fears whatsoever, David Brenner. David?
One of my little phobias, checking the chair, make sure to...
Now, you thought we would actually put a snake or...
No, I have a fear of a midget with a knife. I have a lot of phobias.
Do you have a lot of things you're afraid of?
I've had one since, I started one, about 15 years old, I had this fear of it. Large Eskimo woman putting cottage cheese in my underwear. Which was based on a real incident, so it can be considered
so it's traumatized you ever since.
Yeah, sure. It's just a recurrence thing, you know.
Well, now, when you do all these, when you go out and travel and things, do you find, like, do you expose yourself to new fears?
Well, I have a fear of flying. This is real. You want to talk about real phobias. I have I often, sometimes I think it's not me. Because I start thinking that the airlines scare me. I've been trying to work it out, and one of the things they do is that's really frightening is they say, look, everything's fine. Everything's going to be fine. I mean, the chance of anything going wrong, 1 in a zillion. But just in case, just in case this, and just in case that, and just in case. And I'm thinking, suppose like other places, like suppose you're going in for a vasectomy, and the surgeon comes in and he says, look, hey, chances are, it's so rare anything, but just in case, here's a pocketbook that'll go great with your shoes, Hey, but I've had this fear, and I was in a plane crash once, and actually I had a crash. People, well, it was a semi-crash. What happened? I really found out people real dumb. We had trouble with our landing gear, and we were coming in, and people were so dumb. We skidded. They set up foam.
Mm-hmm. On the runway.
Like runway 7 was covered with foam. We landed on runway 9. It was great seeing foam go by. And we skidded all over the place. And when we finally came to a stop, everyone applauded. And I thought, come on, what would they do if we crash, I mean, they boo, right? Boo, big landing.
That's funny, yeah. They ought to actually have the pilot come out and take a bow at the end of every successful landing.
Pilots scare you, too. I had a pilot scare me worse than any turbulence I've ever been in. I was flying New York to L.A., coming out here to do a TV show. And it was a direct, nonstop flight from New York City to Los Angeles. And I'm sitting on the plane. I'm just getting over my fear. And the pilot comes out, and he's walking around, for his visitation period, which I love. When the pilot walks around visiting, hello, hello, hello. I mean, can you imagine? I'd like being in the back of a car, what's when the driver climbs over? Listen, I want to talk to you. So he's walking around, hello, 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 and he recognizes me, and he comes over to me, he goes, oh, he says, David Brenner. He says, where you going? Forget it, man. I know all the stuff they tell you, all the stuff that works and everything that doesn't work. Forget those things that they tell you that, and just in case they change in the air, whatever it's supposed to change into, this oxygen mask is going to fall out. Hold it over your nose and mouth and breathe normally. Now I've been in a situation. You know what it is? You're plunging 20,000 feet. I sucked a movie screen. People would tell me to keep my mouth open so they could see the end of the film. Forget it, man. I sit on the plane, I act cool. You know what I mean? Well, you gotta, like I act cool, like, hey. Meanwhile, I'm dying, man. I'm absolutely dying. I really have a great fear of flying. I kid about it a lot, but I have it. And now they got a new thing. Did you see the couple weeks ago? There's a new one now. I wish they wouldn't tell us what goes wrong. This one really's got me now. I don't even want to think about it. I'm getting nervous thinking about it right now. I'm getting tingling in my hand. I didn't know. Birds fly into the engine of the planes.
Yeah, you see that a lot.
You see that a lot. I didn't know about this. Now I'm living in fear. My whole future depends on some bird not saying, life sucks.
Yeah, sure. Every time you have any taxi out, you worry about that.
Yeah. You look at birds. I'm actually getting to the point where I'm looking on the runway for sparrows that look depressed. Like.
Well, you know, yeah, a lot of comedians. Letterman is also a very nervous flyer. I was on a flight once with him, and I kept going, "Did you hear that? Did you hear that noise?"
But that's what
you cut it out, man. Cut it out. That's not funny.
Yeah. Oh, that's the worst thing. I was with my manager one time, and Steve Raymond, my manager, he's a terrific guy, and he's real low key and easygoing. Likes to read, likes to watch sports on television. He's like sedentary. I'm like Mr. at 4 o'clock in the morning in Manhattan. Wow, let's go another disco. You know. So.
Is that the way you actually dance?
Yeah, I dance. That's the way I go when I'm going into it. I do this. When I get inside, I'm different. So we're sitting there, and the plane dropped like 20, like 2,000 feet, 3,000 feet. It dropped, and they made an announcement that we're in a lot of trouble, and we take off again. We come in for the landing, that one of those touchdown things, and go around again, and I look at Steve, and he is ashen white. I mean, white. And now it's like I know we're going to die, right? So when we finally come around and we land, I turned to him, I said, you know what the worst, and we were okay, I said, you know what the worst part of that experience was? I saw your life passing in front of my eyes. I was like nodding out.
No, so fear of flying is one. Now, what other fears do you have to address?
I'm acrophobic. I have a fear of height. But not when I'm enclosed. If I'm enclosed, I'm okay. But I try to get over that. Yeah, what I did is I skydived.
Oh, you tried that? See, but that's the best way to address a fear.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. It isn't. First of all, I went to a hypnotist, and I ended up being afraid of eyes that look at me. Then I went skydiving, and I want to tell you, I went through the whole thing where they tell you, that, an idiot, really, they're idiots. They tell you, look, remember, the guy says you're like an old army sergeant. Remember, you're going to get hit with a 75-mile-an-hour wind. They psych you and they practice. And he said, when you jump, a 75-mile-an-hour wind's going, and he picks me out. He says, all right, come on, demonstrate. He says, jump. It's a platform, like off this table, jump. I said, what is it? So I jump. This guy runs into me and knocks me down. In the dirt. I get up, I'm full of dirt. I said, what are you, crazy? What's the matter with you? He says, I'm the wind. I said, why don't you wear a sign, wind, or put cotton balls like the teachers used to do in school plays. So now we get up in a plane. This is the wildest thing. I get up in a plane, I get out on the wing, and it's on the wing. I'm out on the wing, standing there holding on to the wing with the parachute on my back. I swear to you. And my friend Moose, he went out, he's a real tough guy, Green Beret, real tough.
You don't see a wimpy guy named Moose.
Moose looks like Moose, 6'5", 400 pounds of muscle. Moose, he just like fainted out of the plane. And I just saw him, and I knew I'm done. I got out there, I wasn't going to jump. I swear I wasn't going to jump. I was standing there, I was terrified. And this idiot, have helmets. I don't know why he did this, but he was talking to me, and all I heard was, I was so terrified I couldn't understand him. Moogie, hoogie, moogie, hoogie, moogie, hug. So I just said, look, I'm moogie, hoogie when I come in, man, because I'm not jumping. And he hit me on the head with a stick. And I don't know why. I jumped. And you're supposed to yell Geronimo. Forget what I yelled, man. Mothers are covering their children's ears. Oh, don't listen to this. And instead of jumping, you're supposed to jump, and you're supposed to jump in a spread eagle position. And that's the way you go. Yeah. I was in a prenatal position. I'm sucking my thumb. I spun around. I swear this is a true story. You turn on the radio to get, my chute didn't open. It didn't open. I poured nothing, like about 4 inches of cloth came out of it. Now, it's not like in a movie where they tell you emergency. You ever see John Wayne movies? Harry, your chute didn't open. Thanks, Bob. Woo. No, here's what you got to do. As you're plunging to your death for the first time, you got to open this compartment, reach in, grab this silk thing, and fluff it. I'm fluffing everything. I'm fluffing. I turn on, finally the chute opens. I'm like this now. The chute opens. I turn on the radio. They guide you down. Tell you what to do. I'm getting a rock station. I bang the radio, and then I hear, all right, Mr. Gorman, you're looking good. You're too far to the left, turn to the right. So I pull to the right. It says, all right, Mr. Gorman, turn to the left. I turn to the left. It says, all right, Mr. Gorman, you're going to land, prepare, look at the horizon, bend your legs. I bend my legs, I look, there's no horizon. I'm not Mr. Gorman. That was a guy jumped 10 sides of foot. Well, I'll tell you something. I came down. Now, you're supposed to get up, run behind your chute, and cave it in, or it drags you. I dug my fingers into the ground. Go ahead and drag. You could see the irrigation ditch to this time from Jersey to Florida. And now I'll tell you the end of it. I got up and everything. I said, this is great. And you know what? I got a fear of silk now, in addition to...
That's funny. All right, we got to take a break. More of the show on Fears and Phobia right after this. Come on back.